everyone's favorite offseason guy in Justyn Ross. So it's the first time that we've talked about Justyn Ross this offseason. So one of the biggest names we talked about last year was wide receiver Justyn Ross. He made a few highlights during minicamp, which the Chiefs Twitter account, they love showing highlights of Justyn Ross because they know what gets them clicks and retweets. He made a few nice catches during minicamp, and he also made a few nice catches during last season before his season was cut short due to some off-the-field legal stuff. So, JD, obviously there's a lot of talk on, we talked about Remigio, and there's a lot of guys at the end of that wide receiver room because it's a pretty full-packed, talented room. A lot of guys do a little bit different things, and he does provide something different that nobody else does in that wide receiver room. Yeah. But based on what you saw last year, and it's very limited to what you saw in during the regular season when he did play, what are some of the things you want to see this year, and things that you think that Justyn Ross needs to show out this year in order to kind of make the team as far as making that last, whether it's the 7th wide receiver spot, the 8th wide receiver spot, how many they depend on keeping. But what are some of the things that you think that he needed to kind of shore up this year in camp this year in order to kind of maybe secure him a spot again on the team this year?
Well, probably the playmaking ability. You know, the wild guys, the wild in the organization. I think that's what he has to show. He still has to show. I keep going back to it. The one-handed catches in the breadbasket, he's going to have to keep doing those over and over again to be considered being on the 53-man roster. Does he have it in him? Absolutely. You know he's a talented wide receiver. Obviously, the hiccup he had last year, kind of derailed him. And rightfully so, because I keep saying it over and over again, playing in the NFL is a privilege. It really is. But Justyn Ross, man, he just got to get everything, in order. He just got to keep focused on what he can control. That's it. And that's playing on the football field. And when he's, off the field, controlling that part of his life too. Okay. I don't think we have any more issues as far as with that. But I think Justyn Ross, he understands the position he's in. And sometimes it becomes, reality sets in and hits you that this could be my last day. I could be going somewhere else. I don't know. The Chiefs, took a chance on me, bringing me here medically because I wasn't necessarily cleared, and some teams are, off on me because of it. They were scared from it. But he just has to just keep making plays, Marcus. He's got to keep showing and display a skill set that you said we just don't necessarily have from anywhere else on the team, right? Go up and go get it. That's what he can climb the ladder, go get it, okay? He can do the back shoulder throw. He's very athletic in the air, okay? That's what you want to be able to see, a guy who's athletic in the air. He can do those things. So that's what it's going to take for him. Also, too, we talked about special teams. What can he show on special teams? Well, it means going down as a gunner. You got to go down and make some tackles. You got to be able to block guys. You got to find something that you got to do that other guys are not willing to do. So even if you do get out there on offense, go block a safety or a linebacker, okay? Go put your nose in it. Knock a guy off his feet. So just keep showing up. Keep showing up. That's what it's all about in the NFL, man. Like I said, this right here is it's all about production. It's all about the wow factor. Okay, if you're the fringe guy, you're one of those guys that on the very end, you got to keep showing up every single day. And that's what Justyn Ross have to do. So it's going to be tough, man, for these guys to make the team. We said that. Justyn Ross is another guy that's right there on the fringe of this thing. So other than that, man, I don't really have any other, anything to say. We seen it. Look, they kept you around for a reason, but they're going to get tired. They get tired of just keeping around, man, just keeping a roster spot if you ain't showing what you could do, right? So that's what I think.
Yeah, the interesting thing about him is, so he was starting to get more snaps because remember they were starting to rotate the receivers more. They were starting to get MVS out of there more, getting him in there more. And I think he had that Minnesota game. He had that back shoulder, nice catch. And he had a great game in that one. I'm looking at his stats now. He had 4 targets that game, 2 for 28. And one was the long one on the sideline back shoulder, which we thought we were going to start to see a little bit more of that. And then I believe, so yeah, after that Minnesota game, he didn't get any other targets up until he played he got a catch in the Raiders game, in the Christmas Day game, 1 catch for 2 yards, didn't play against Cincinnati, and then against the Chargers, 2 catches, 17 yards. But that was the game where we rested everybody. So, I mean, Yeah, the everything that went off the field that kind of derailed his season as far as his progression. And hopefully, he's back and right. And he's been working out with Mahomes in Texas. He's been looking great at minicamp. Apparently, from people who were there. So I mean, he's back. It's just that I think the one thing that will benefit him is if Rice does get suspended. I think that's going to be good for him as far as being able to make the roster if he is on the cusp. But
Yeah,
if Rice is not there, I think that gives him more of an opportunity, more of an opening to kind of do what Rice does in certain routes. Because obviously the quick screens,
sure.
I don't think he's a quick screen guy
Yeah.
like Rice is. But I think he can operate some of what Rice does on the outside. And I think Ross can do that, and I think that would be beneficial to him if Rice is suspended first half of the season.
Look, he's a matchup nightmare in the red zone. Just considering his height, we were just talking about DK Metcalf having a bigger body receiver. Him being 6'4", like I said, going up and go get it. Those are the things we just miss in this offense. And we said Rashee Rice should be able to catch those balls. We don't want to use Rashee Rice in the slot as much, okay? We got slot guys. Hollywood Brown would probably fit in the slot better than Rashee Rice. We want Rashee Rice catching the back shoulder throws. We want to throw the ball up so he can go up there and snatch the ball out of the air, right? With his strong hands. Justyn Ross has all those things. Let him stretch the defense. Let him go get it. So being 6'4", 210 pounds over a 6 foot 5'10" DB, that's a great matchup. It's a great matchup. So, yeah, he was coming in, like you said, he was trying to rotate with, MVS. Well, shoot, he could have, if everything didn't happen, he probably, who's to say he might have taken that over. He might have taken that over. So, I'm just encouraged. I think when you do have a guy who's 6'4", 210, and I said this is a small man's offense, you got to increase the game. You got to increase, some versatility, what you do offensively. And so Andy and them see that. They see it in this guy. We just got to utilize it. Utilize what you have. Exploit your guys for what they can do. So hopefully Justyn Ross sees a lot of those looks in training camp. That would be the time to do it, to try out every little thing you could possibly think about using Justyn Ross for. Throw it. Hey, Justin, get in for this play. Andy, we run it. Okay, sure, do it. Run the offensive way around him. See how it looks. So I just think, man, he's different body type. Embry said he does things differently than other guys in the room. Beautiful. Utilize it then. Use it for everything that he's got. Sure. He wants that. He wants that. So I say, man, give him what he wants. Let's see exactly what this guy can do. Unleash this guy and just ball out. Let's just see what he can do, right? That would be my thing. I would make sure I go into the meeting room as an offensive coach and saying, look, we got this 6'4" guy on the outside. Let's see what all he can do, coach. Let's throw the ball to him. So,
yeah, it was one of those things that was clear when he did get on the field. You'd see Mahomes look to him a lot. Oftentimes, he wouldn't throw it to him, or he would get in the Minnesota game 4 targets. He would go to him a lot. So, yeah, you'd see Mahomes' eyes go to Ross, and I guess in his progression. And Mahomes always speaks so highly about Ross. We talked about it last year. He spent the summer on his couch, so they have a rapport. It's just all about, finding ways to get him the ball and utilize him in the best possible way they can. And hopefully this offense, the minds they have on the offensive side, they can do that for him. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.